Everything you need to know about Nevada State College's nursing program in 15 minutes. We offer 4 tracks: a regular track, a part-time track, a 15-month track, and an RN to BSN track. The regular track takes 2 years to complete, 4 semesters, and you get your summers off. Classes are Monday through Friday. Your times are going to vary on those days, and you will have clinical hours, which is typically 12 hours. The start dates for the regular track are every fall and spring semester. For those of you that work or need a more flexible schedule, we offer a part-time track which takes 8 semesters to complete. You go through summers, so you'll go fall, spring, summer if you start in the fall. It takes about 2.5 to 3 years to complete. Your classes can be on Thursday, Friday, and or Saturday. Again, the times will vary and you will have clinical hours. The part-time track starts every fall and spring semester. The fastest track that we have is the 15-month track. Just like the regular track, it's 4 semesters long. You start in the summer and you end in the following summer. Classes are also Monday through Friday, and you will have clinical hours as well. And for the 15-month track, it only starts in the summer. Now, our last track is an RN to BSN track. You have to have an associate's degree in nursing from a regionally accredited school to do the RN to BSN track. There's 12 nursing courses to turn your ADN into a BSN. If you go 4 classes every semester, which is full-time, it will take you 12 months to complete. If you take 2 classes every semester, it will take you about 24 months to complete. All the classes are online. This is a great option for those of you that don't get into our nursing program at Nevada State College and then decide to go to a community college like CSN to complete their associate's degree in nursing. You can then come back to this RN to BSN track to get your BSN. These are the 20 courses that are required to apply to our nursing program. Feel free to pause so you can write them down and pay attention to the prerequisites that are on the right side. Some tips and tricks about the nursing prerequisites. There are some courses that you have to take as soon as possible because it opens up your ability to take other courses that are required. Math is the first one. If you don't complete college math, you can't take Chem 112 or Psych 210. Chem 112 is needed before you can take Microbio or CHS 421. And then Bio 223, 224, 251 is needed before you can take one of your last prerequisites, which is Nursing 337, or otherwise known as Pathophysiology. Students sometimes ask, what are some of your fine arts options? You can always check the college catalog for more information on what courses satisfy fine arts. Similar, people want to know about humanities. One that I recommend is American Sign Language, which is a foreign language, and that will count for one of your humanities courses, and that class is a lot of fun. And then there's a cultural diversity requirement as well. Anthro 101, Women's Studies 101, or Ethnic Studies 101. Please press pause so you can read the sub-bullet point. Now, for Biology 223, 224, and 251, we do have a 7-year rule where those courses cannot be older than 7 years. If it is, you can petition and take a test to see if you can demonstrate mastery of the subject. Or you can just retake the course. My suggestion is to retake the course if your grades in those courses aren't A's or B pluses. Now, this is the most important rule that a lot of pre-nursing students aren't aware of, and it's the Biology 2 attempt rule. You cannot attempt either Biology 223, 224, or 251 more than twice within a 7-year period. In other words, you can only take it twice. A third time would make your grade in that course ineligible when you apply to the nursing program. Another important piece of information is that if you withdraw from one of those courses, or if you audit one of those courses, that W or that audit will count as an attempt against you. If you violate or have already violated this requirement, set up an appointment to talk to an advisor as soon as possible to find out what your options are. Similarly, we also have a TEAS requirement rule. When you apply, it must not be more than 2 years old at time of application. And we also have a 2 attempt rule for TEAS. You can only attempt it twice within a 2-year window, and you must wait 30 days in between each attempt for those attempts to count. Next is the most recent attempt counts rule. Your most recent grade will count. Even if your second grade is lower than your first grade, we don't average it out, we just take your most recent grade. So you want to think about that when you're thinking about retaking courses. Similarly, your most recent T-score will count. So let's say you got a 75 and then you took it a second time, waiting 30 days of course, and then you got a 70. Your 70 is going to count and not your 75 because the 70 is the most recent attempt. Last but not least, you need to know that all of your prerequisites, those 20 courses in the other slide, must be completed with a grade of C or higher. In terms of applying and application deadlines, the summer 15-month program usually has an application deadline due in January. For the fall semester, whether you're going for the regular or part-time track, those applications are due in May. And for the spring semester, those applications are due in September. Always check with the advising center during those months to find out when the deadline is. When you're ready to apply, you must meet all of these minimum requirements. First off, you can't have more than 12 credits of prerequisites in progress when you're applying. Also, Bio 223, 224, and 251 must be complete by the time you apply. Last, all of your prerequisites must be done before you start the program. Our TEAS minimum score is a 58.7, and you must do the ATI TEAS version. And your program GPA must be at least a 3.25 to apply. Your program GPA is found in your academic requirements or degree audit, and it's usually underneath pathophysiology, just as the picture to the right shows. This is what the nursing school uses to rank their applicants. As you can see, 50% of your application score comes straight from your program GPA, and it's also the component that offers the most points at 150. We also give you points for your grades in Bio 223, 224, 251. You have points for your T-score. Credits taken at Nevada State College allows us to award some extra bonus points for students that have taken most of their credits here at NSC. And then we have bonus points for the completion of Nursing 337 by the time you apply. The last bonus category of Nursing 100, it is only available for those that have already taken Nursing 100 because we don't offer that course anymore. I sort of spoke about this on your previous slide, but your GPA is the #1 indicator of whether or not you're going to get into the program or how you can know how competitive you are. These are the stats from the spring semester cohort. As you can see, for both the full-time and the part-time track, the average GPA was a 3.6 and a 3.5. So GPA matters the most. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about financial aid. If you are not receiving financial aid, you can skip this portion. Financial aid will stop paying for your courses once you surpass 90 credits. So, in other words, if you continue to take pre-nursing courses and you're retaking courses, and then you pass 90 credits, you will not receive financial aid any longer. They expect you to either get into the nursing program by the time you reach 90 credits, and if you do not, you will either pay out of pocket for those pre-nursing courses or change your major. Financial aid also allows you to retake courses until you pass it with a D- or higher. Once you pass a course with a D- or higher, financial aid will only pay for it one more time. If you want to take it a third time, then you'll be paying out of pocket. Now, if any of those are the Bio 223, 224, 251, you can't take it more than twice anyways. The next important thing about financial aid is ineligible courses. Financial aid will only pay for courses that are part of your degree requirement for your pre-nursing major or for your minor or for your second major or what have you. If you ever receive a letter that says you have an ineligible course, contact an advisor as soon as possible. Now we're going to go into the section called frequently asked questions. You can apply as many times as you need to so you can get in. A really good question is whether or not you should retake courses. Don't forget any of the rules that we've already talked about. My number one question to students when they want to retake a class is this: what's going to be different this time around? Because if you're not changing your situation or your strategies or the amount of classes you're taking, and you're retaking a course, you're going to just get the same grade that you did the first time if you don't try to adjust your approach. Another question is financial aid for the summer. If you went full-time in the fall and in the spring, then chances are you have no aid left over for the summer. If you only went part-time for one of those semesters, then it's highly likely that you do have financial aid for the summer. As always, contact financial aid to find out what aid you may or may not have for the summer by contacting them at finaid@nsc.edu. Going full-time or part-time really just depends on how many credits you can have, how flexible your schedule is, how do you handle stress. It's not that long of a difference between the 2-year program and the 3-year program. And honestly, if you go full-time and then you fail, then you get reinstated and they might push you into a part-time track. That might actually make your program longer than it needs to if you just did the part-time track right off the bat. So you really should consider a lot of these factors to determine whether or not you go full-time or part-time. Because again, it's only a difference of a year and nursing school is tough as it is. We sort of talked about this, so if you want to see it again, press pause. If not, I'm going to skip to the next slide. Can you take classes somewhere else and transfer them in? Absolutely. You just want to make sure that they're equivalent to the requirements that we require. So contact an advisor so you can find that out. But don't forget, the more credits you take at NSC, the more points you'll get in that category. The only exception is you cannot take any classes elsewhere if it's the semester or summer session right before the program starts. So if you start in the fall, then you can't, and you're taking classes in the summer, they all have to be at Nevada State. If you're starting in the spring, then any classes you need to take in the fall have to be at Nevada State. Can you substitute any previous courses for a pre-nursing requirement? Absolutely. You want to talk to an advisor to find out if those courses are petitionable. All right, so that's the end of our 15-minute presentation. As always, if you have further questions, contact AAC at nsc.edu or give us a call at 702-992-2160. At this point, you should go into the description of this video to find a link. There's a test that we're going to have you complete. You need to get 100% on that test. And then once you do so, you're going to email that to aac@nsc.edu. That way we can verify that you've watched this presentation to its entirety and that you got the information. And once we verify that, we will allow you to schedule an appointment with a pre-nursing advisor. I hope you found this information helpful. Good luck in your journey, and we look forward to serving you in the Academic Advising Center. Have a good day.